Hey, this is Miriam from the Runner's Mechanic Physical Therapy Clinic. I wanted to start the year off by talking about plantar fasciopathy. Plantar fasciopathy is one of the most common things that we see with runners. This can be pain either in the bottom of the arch or the bottom of the heel. If you have foot pain, I definitely recommend getting a full analysis, looking at video, all those different characteristics. But today I wanted to show you two small things that you can look at and try, depending on what kind of pain you're having. So one thing that we sometimes look at when we're looking at heel pain and foot pain along the bottom of the foot is how much big toe extension that you have, okay? So there's a lot of fascial connections that actually start either at the top of the calf or mid-calf. As it comes down, it weaves into the Achilles tendon and down into the fascia of the foot. And believe it or not, the plantar fascia actually goes into the big toe. It attaches to the first bone of the big toe. So the big toe is really a big part of the plantar fascia. Sometimes people start to recognize that they're having calf or Achilles tightness before they start having heel or foot pain. Plantar fasciopathy and plantar fasciitis are pain that we usually identify when you first wake up in the morning. You put your feet down on the ground. The first steps in the morning are pretty painful and then they tend to warm up. During running, it's kind of the same thing. First couple of steps are painful, maybe things work out in a couple minutes or a mile, feel a little better in the run, and then as the day goes on, the pain starts to creep back after your run. There are several factors that can feed into fasciitis and fasciopathy, okay? So again, these are just two tips to kind of look at and see if they help, okay? One is looking to see if you're a little bit tight in the big toe, so the fascia that goes into the big toe, and if some of that is leading to some restriction and how to use that and mobilize that. And the other one is a tool that's called the Fasciitis Fighter. This is a tool that has been really helpful with some clients, okay? This doesn't pertain to everybody, and I would say it's about a 50-50. It's something that either magically really helps or it really doesn't do anything at all. So, and there's some different reasons for that, and I'll tell you the circumstances that you might want to use it in. So anyway, I wanted to introduce you to the Fasciitis Fighter and also how to diagnose yourself if you do have big toe stiffness. Okay, so the first tool we'll use, now you don't have to have a yoga block, okay? You can use a book or anything else that's kind of similar, all right? And what I tell people to do, I'm gonna move the camera just a little bit here, and you're gonna see the yoga block on the floor, okay? All right, so with your foot, you gently place the big toe against the block or the book, and gently extend the big toe, okay? So you can see as I put my pressure into it, my big toe bends. Here, I'll show you with this one better, okay? Now, you don't want to push the big toe into a bend that feels uncomfortable, okay? So you just bend it to the end of that comfort, all right? And then place the foot down. I have really mobile big toes, so I pretty much can bend my toe to about 90 degrees, so don't think that everyone has to do that. So again, just gently flex it till it stops, and it's still not painful. If it's painful, back it off. And then let the foot come down, okay? Keeping the heel and the toe forward, okay? So we don't want the foot turned out. From there, let the knee go roughly trek over the second toe and see how far you can go before you feel a stretch or before the heel lifts, okay? So I tell people that kind of fat pad under the heel, keep it down the entire time you bring the knee towards the wall. Okay, and what you can do is you can look at the distance between your knee and the wall. Okay, and also you can feel what's going on in your calf. Does it feel like something is really tight, or does it feel fine? Okay, and then you compare it to the other side. Toe flexed, come down, knee tracks over the second toe towards the wall, and then we look at that distance. Okay, all right. And this is how you can actually work on it. There's several different ways you can work on it, but you can actually use this, staying into that light stretch and coming out. Sometimes I'll do 10 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Okay, and working on that throughout the day. All right. So that's one way to look if you have some big toe stiffness, which also can be stiffness of the plantar fascia. Just be sure not to crank on that big toe if it's painful. All right, the second thing is a tool called the Fasciitis Fighter. Okay, so I'll put it this way so you can see it kind of looks like a little lump there, okay? It does come with fairly good instructions, okay? So the big thing is, and we'll also use this terminology throughout any kind of tendon pain. I always tell my clients, we use pain as a green light, a yellow light, and a red light, okay? So pain can be on the scale from 0 to 10, all right? 0 being no pain, 10 being a lot of pain, okay? So 0 to 2 is what we call the green light, all right? If you do an activity and your pain stays between 0 or 2, for a lot of chronic fasciopathies or tendinopathies, that's a safe place to be, okay? So we say if you stay in the green light, you're probably in a good place. 2 to 5 is a yellow light, okay? That's when we're kind of bumping into maybe some more aggressive loading. As long as the pain calms down afterwards and doesn't extend into the next day, we're fine, okay? If the pain does not resolve after the activity or feeds into the next day, we need to bring down the loading a little bit. And then 5 to 10 is kind of that red light area, and we kind of stay out of that, okay? And we're going to talk about that with this, okay? So I did a video, gosh, it's probably a couple of years now, and I do recommend that you look at that if you're having really, really sensitive foot pain. I do some exercises sitting, and that's a great place to start, okay? I did show these eccentric plantar fasciopathy strengthening exercises, but using a towel roll. I have found this to be much better than a towel roll. I was kind of critical at first. I was like, I don't really need to get a $25 product that I can just do with a towel roll. And I do have to say, after a lot of trial, I do think these things are great. It adds enough density where your toe really does stay blocked against the little foam bump here, and it does add to the exercise. So I think it's really nice. Okay, so I'm going to show you this exercise. We're going to start with both feet, and it says that in the instructions, okay? We want to make sure, again, we stay in that 0 to 2 pain, all right? We want to stay in a green light with this, especially when you're starting. You can get more bold as you find things are progressing and you're getting better. We can maybe bump into that yellow light, but for right now, when you first start, I would say stay in that green light 0 to 2, okay? So that's the foot pain that you're having, all right? So I'll show you how this works. I'll put this down on the ground, kind of roughly where we had. Here we go. Here we go. So down on the ground. I am going to be holding on. So I do like to tell people this is not a balance activity. Okay. You're going to put the big toe, here I'll show you the inside, the big toe on the bump, okay, and the ball of the foot goes on the foam platform. All right. So again, start with both because we want to be very conservative when it comes to foot pain. All right. If you're able to come up as high as you can onto the toes, and your heel and foot pain does still not exceed a 2, wonderful. Here you stay at the top, and then for a count between 3 to 6, you slowly come down. Okay. Up, 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 up. Hold at the top. This seems surprising, but actually the highest point of strain in the plantar fascia is when we start to dorsiflex up onto our toes and raise the heel. Up, 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 hold, and then slowly lower. Up, 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 hold. And so this is, yes, dorsiflexion of the toe, but it's plantar flexion of the ankle. That's the heel lift. And slowly lower. All right. So say you do a set of that, which I think starting around 12 should be good. The next day you feel pretty good. You do this for a week. We're still in the green zone. Foot pain is feeling better. Okay. That's when you can go on to single. Okay. Here, up, hold, and then a very slow eccentric lower. Okay. Again, if the pain shoots up with this, if we start bumping immediately into a 5 or a 6, go back to both. Okay, we can add a little bit of weight to that. But if it feels pretty good, then you can just transition onto the one leg. Okay. All right, so I hope that helps. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out. My email, runnersmechanic@gmail.com. My phone number is on the website, so just please let me know, because foot pain is one of those things that we have a lot of different tools that we can use to make it better. Not all plantar fasciitis or plantar fasciopathy is the same, and there's lots of different factors that contribute. So anyway, if you find that some of these tips don't work, please contact me. All right, have a great day and a good start to the new year.